Hey y'all, it's me again, Spencer, Jennifer, and I just did my Nadine West unboxing, so if you haven't seen that, you can go see what I got, which was much better this time. And as I mentioned in that video, I did get a complaint on another of my videos about my everything being too dark and the fact that I don't do try-ons for clothing, but like I told her, it's kind of I don't have the equipment yet, but I will in the next few months. But in any case, today, this is my wholesale supply that I ordered. I actually ordered less than I usually do, but I think I probably got some more useful items. The thing about it is when you start making these things, you start like I started out just getting like everything, like get everything I get my hands on that sounded like fun to play with, is what I did, and I've still got some of that. When you get to a certain point, and I've been doing this for about 2 years now, when you get to a certain point, you kind of begin to understand and realize the things that you really use the most. And one of the things that I've been using so much is soap bases. I only got 2 this time. I wanted to get more, but I'll get more next time. And I do have a friend who loves to order my soaps because she loves the fragrances, and that's another thing. You begin to slowly start to get friends wanting to buy stuff, and that's how I'm hoping it will grow. And I have an order from another friend, and I got some things for her. Okay, but anyway, here's my soap. I got the Tussa Silk, which is really, really nice. I've used this one before, and I'm not entirely certain of the Tussa Silk thing, but it is some form of silk that is really good for your skin. Which, worm vomit as can be. Sorry, I really just made a lot of people mad when I said it. Tussa Silk soap base, and I got Moroccan Argan soap base. I've used this one before too, and I really, really like it. And my friend actually requested more Tussa and Moroccan Argan soaps, and so I got these for her. And she told me she already told me she's going to order some more stuff next month. But anyway, there's my soap bases. They weren't on sale this time. I just needed those particular ones. But as I've said before in wholesale supply videos, is they almost always have a sale going. The best thing to do is to subscribe to their newsletter, and you'll know every single one that they have. And they don't give you a bunch of stupid stuff. It's all about the sales that they're having. And they do give you recipes sometimes and things like that, but it's always something useful. So they're not one of these annoying people who email you about, everything. Okay, but I also got some fragrance oils because I can't not get fragrance oils. I did not mean to. I never mean to, but it's kind of my thing. I like fragrance oils, so and that's why part of why I use them is because they are cheaper and you can get some more complex kind of blends with them than you can with essential oils, and they're a little bit stronger in scent than essential oils. And so I use these mostly for my perfumery. Every once in a while my friend always likes me to put it in lotion, and I do it for myself sometimes, and I make these little aloe sprays that I use after a bath in the morning and everything like that. That's what I use these for. And I do actually blend weird fragrances together, like see what happens, and they actually turn out pretty well, so I'm pretty happy with them. Okay, my fragrance oils, the one I got is yuzu too. I really love the scent of yuzu, and I'm always looking for a kind of a different citrus because you can only use orange and lime and lemon so many times. So I was kind of looking for another kind of different twist, citrus scent. And I have gotten the yuzu essential oil before, but it's not very strong, the scent, and that's the main reason I got it. But oh yeah, this is the stuff right here. Yeah, this is a good scent. I like this. It's kind of it's kind of like that mix between a grapefruit and like a mandarin orange that is what yuzu kind of smells like to me. But anyway, there's my yuzu, and I'm happy with that, definitely. Y'all wanted so bad to get the Mother of Dragons, the Mother of Dragons fragrance oil, because it sounded like it smells really good. But I'll get it eventually. But they do have kind of a line of Game of Thrones themed fragrances that are pretty funny. And I actually have one of them, Storm's. It was the Storm's End, and it's like a really manly scent, and I really like it. Okay, the next one is Royal Tonka. Tonka is another fragrance I really, really love. It's a great base fragrance. It's a good for when you kind of want something a little kind of vanilla-y, but you don't necessarily want vanilla, because Tonka basically smells like and tastes like kind of a spiced vanilla. It's really nice. I love it. I love how it smells, especially. It's just great. Oh, and this one's actually got some other notes in with it. I can't remember what all it said, but this is Tonka. I think there might be some kind of leather in there. I think there might be, it's like a fir needle or something. But now this is really nice. And this one I can have fun with, I think. This will be interesting. Okay, so those are my fragrance oils. I was good this time and only got a few. Okay, now I did also get a bunch of salts, because my other friend who ordered something from me recently, she wanted like bath salts, and that's something I haven't done yet, but I've been wanting to kind of expand into. Oh yeah, that's right, I only got 2 things of salt. Okay, but I did get some salts for that order and for myself. I use them mostly in scrubs, but I'm happy to expand into bath oils. But I got some dendritic salt. If you know what dendrites are the little double shelled microscopic kind of little critters that hang out in the oceans, and this supposedly is made out of those little they're exoskeletons, and naturally harvested, apparently, from what I understand. But when they die, their little shells just kind of stay on the bottom of the ocean and become sand and any number of other, materials you find in the ocean. But anyway, dendritic salt, there's that. And I know my explanation was super, super eloquent. Okay, and I also got some bath water crystals. I'm not sure why I got such a small packet. I thought that I got a larger one, but it might have been expensive. So that's probably, if that's what I did, then. But I wanted to put some stuff like this in there for my friend, because that was the main thing she's going to use it for, is for bath. But she requested that, and I got those salts for her. And I got some more glycerin, which is glycerin. I use glycerin a lot, actually, and there's something, you use it a lot of times as a humectant. It does have kind of a mild, kind of a slight ability to emulsify, but it's not great at it. But I use glycerin in my body wash. And I use it in a lot. I use it in just about everything, because it is emollient, and I believe it's a humectant as well, but it's really softening, and it helps the texture of your formulations. And one of the main reasons I get a big thing of glycerin every time is because I make extracts and tinctures out of it. You can do it with alcohol too. I use vodka, like high alcohol content vodka for some of them, and for others, most of the ones that I use the most, I use glycerin for my extracts. And basically all you have to do for that is and this is kind of like a poor girl's way of making an extract, because there are more precise ways of doing it, but this is how I do it. But what I do is I get whatever material I want to make a tincture out of, whether one of the ones that I use all the time is white willow bark, and I also make one for my hair that's got a combination of items in it, and I've got one stewing right now that I'm calling a bark and roots extract that's kind of formulated for sensitive skin and rosacea. But I'm doing that. And what I just put the material in there, and I usually grind it down just so there's less surface area and you can get more out of it. I grind it down and I put it in a jar, mason jar, and always swish some alcohol in there first. I just rub an alcohol. Just swish it in there, shake it back and forth, make sure everything gets covered, and let it dry for a little bit, and then put in your material, and then put in your glycerin. It's about half of the container of material and the full container of glycerin. And just throw it in a cool, dark place and let it sit there for, I usually do 3 weeks for my extract. Sometimes I do 6, depending. And shake it every once in a while, and in 3 to 6 weeks you have an extract, and it's actually quite wonderful. I use it in a lot of stuff, especially my white willow bark one. I use it all the time. And anytime I find, if I, like for instance, at the place where I work, we had cherry trees lining the sidewalks, and when they were in bloom, I grabbed some and made an extract out of it. And that's just something you can do. Like if a friend of yours says, hey, I've got a crap load of rosemary, I need to figure out what to do with it, you say, give it to me and I'll make an extract out of it. But anyway, there's that. And that was all that I really got from Wholesale Supply this time, because like I said, I didn't do as much because I've been trying to, I had to replace a battery in my truck, and I've been kind of having to, well, honestly, I just haven't had much motivation to do much lately, so, because of the state of things. But anyway, Wholesale Supply always makes me happy, and you have to check them out, and hopefully soon I will have better quality video with much more articulate me, and maybe some demonstrations at some point for skincare and even cooking and things like that. But anyway, right now, y'all have a good evening. Stay strong. Much love.